How to support children and families in multicultural homes. Multicultural homes are becoming increasingly more common around the world. So what exactly is a multicultural home? The Oxford Dictionary defines multicultural as relating to or constituting several cultural or ethnic groups within a society. A multicultural society is one where many cultures live together. There are two ways to become a multicultural family, internally or externally. Internal multiculturalism is through intermarriage, partnership, or adoptions, and external multiculturalism is the physical relocation of a family by moving from one culture to another.
Multiculturalism may have a great effect on the social identity development of children, as culture influences one's racial identity and therefore the way one navigates the social world. In multicultural homes, children learn to embrace both or multiple cultures and to respect the differences as well. With these experiences, there is a better understanding of other cultures, including religion, language, food, and art, which is extremely important in social development in one's childhood and lifespan.
Though multicultural homes provide children with unique worldviews, increased cultural awareness, and empathy, these homes can present challenges like language barriers and cultural differences, such as style of communication, that can be hard to navigate.
Due to the great importance of teaching children how to balance multiculturalism in homes and society, we hope to grab the attention of parents, educators, caregivers, social workers, and professionals to best equip those who care for children with a better understanding of how to love and support children in multicultural homes. With the resources that we provide, we hope to offer caregivers an extra hand in dealing with the complexity of raising children in multicultural homes.
One of the books we chose to best illustrate the highlights and challenges in multiculturalism was The Case for Loving, The Fight for Interracial Marriage. This book highlights the 1967 Loving versus Virginia Supreme Court case that began with an interracial couple being charged with unlawful cohabitation because living together as an interracial couple was deemed unlawful in Virginia. Despite this case taking place in the 1960s, this story is still relevant today as a court case was presented in regards to multicultural marriage and that it is unconstitutional. On June 12, 1967, when the case of Loving versus Virginia began, Richard and Mildred stayed home with Donald, Peggy, and Sidney. They were all nervous and afraid they would not win. The state argued that in order to preserve the purity of the white race, blacks and whites must remain separate. When it was the Loving's lawyers' turn to present their case, they said it was unconstitutional to make marriage a crime because of race. And they read a message from Richard himself. Tell the court I love my wife, and it is just unfair that I can't live with her in Virginia.
In this book, a son and his dad, a Vietnamese immigrant, go fishing early one morning.
This is an example of judgment of an American society. A kid at my school said my dad's English sounds like a thick, dirty river, but to me, his English sounds like gentle rain.
There are hardships of needing two jobs to be able to live in the U.S., and it is easy to see that the privileged, in this case, or most cases, are of those who identify as white. So as represented in the book, one says, "You're here early today," the bait man says. "I got a second job," my dad explains. "I have to work this morning." "On a Saturday?" the bait man asks. My dad nods. I feel the bag of minnows move. They swim like silver arrows in my hands.
The father is vulnerable with his son as he explains the difficulties of assimilating to a country while also recalling memories from home, demonstrating the complexity of navigating two cultures. This is an example of external multiculturalism, which is the physical relocation of a family by moving from one culture to another.
Reading books to children helps stimulate their imagination and expand their world understanding. There is extensive evidence that reading increases empathy, improves social skills, and strengthens relationships. Reading books about children's struggles not only helps with learning, but also helps them navigate how to deal with conflicts that may be similar to those going on in their own lives.
Professionals such as social workers and teachers can use this book to normalize multicultural families and help children understand that they aren't alone. It is beneficial for children to be exposed to books about similar struggles they might be dealing with in everyday life so that they can see how others navigate it in a healthy way. Books help children learn about difficult themes in a manageable way. It is easier to show them how other characters deal with their problems rather than having to address it head-on and single out a child. You can have a younger reader who doesn't really consciously put their finger on the anxiety that's being explored. They just like the lobster story from NPR. But viscerally, I'm sure they're getting something out of it.
There are further resources. There are several supportive spaces for multicultural families. These intentional groups range from everything including Facebook pages to organizations focusing on helping multicultural families foster a respectful, equal access, and informed home. Support groups have been found to provide opportunities for people to share their experiences, feelings, and coping strategies in a safe environment. Support groups offer a safe space for people to share and validate each other's challenges of living in a multicultural home. Successful support groups are inclusive and foster culture where everyone lifts each other up. One notable organization is multiculturalfamilies.org. Multicultural Families Organizations, or MFO, is a nonprofit organization that has worked with culturally and linguistically families for the past 23 years. MFO offers several programs and services, including settlement services, a homework club, and domestic violence education.
With these children's books and additional resources, we are able to highlight the importance of equally celebrating and appreciating all cultures involved in a household. If you would like to learn more about why it's important to have multicultural videos like this, check out the Parent Support Video Resource page on YouTube.